In this lesson, we'll take a look at the function of the pattern stamp tool. To begin, we'll create a new blank document. I'll make it 512 by 512 in dimensions. Click OK. So the pattern stamp tool is in the same drop down as the clone stamp tool. They're the only two tools in that drop down at present as of CS6. So what does it do? Well, it's basically the paintbrush tool but with patterns. That's effectively just what it is. Depending on your version of Photoshop and whether or not you are familiar with patterns, you probably only have these first two patterns here. They're the default ones that come with Photoshop. I've downloaded a few extras. We'll learn how to do that in a moment. So basically you have this repeating pattern, and no matter where you paint on the canvas, it maintains the structure and the flow of that pattern, you see. And you just choose which parts are showing and which parts aren't. And it continues to repeat. That's really all there is to it. That's the pattern stamp tool. Yeah, you see the idea. You can make any shape and it continues with the pattern. Okay, the only really significant alteration that we should be aware of is the impressionist setting, which basically blurs it and gives it this kind of wormy look. So you might want to try that and see what kind of effects you can get with your different patterns. So that's the impressionist setting. Beyond these simple matters, the only way to make something substantial with that tool is to download or create your own patterns, because these default two aren't very useful. How do we get them? Well, you can come in here and just search free Photoshop patterns, and they come in little packs. Okay, so let's just go for the first one, soft flower stripes. Click the download button. Let's see what we have. I'll extract it because it's a zip file. If you don't have any kind of a program that can extract zip files, then just download JZip because it's free. Just Google JZip, it's freely available online. Extract to there we go. Now we have little, I think, PNGs or JPEGs, PNGs of each image, which is nice. But the one file that we are interested in here, above all else, is this patterns file, which is a PAT file for pattern. We're going to import that into Photoshop, or just remember where it is. So it's in our downloads soft flower stripes folder. I'll come here to Photoshop again, and in my patterns drop down, I'll click on this little toggle, and we're going to import new patterns. So load patterns is what you want to click on, and we will go to downloads and just browse to wherever it is that you saved your patterns. Soft flower, and there you go. We can now paint with these patterns as well. Let's see. We still have our impressionist setting on, so let's turn that off. So this is actually quite a large pattern. To get the full effect, let's create a larger image to paint with. There you go. that's the pattern stamp tool in a nutshell.